What's up, Raiders? I'm Owen Weis.
And I'm Barrett Pavlik. This week on RJTV, we look at what our Raiders are giving up for Lent.
We talked to senior Rachel Krauss about her new podcast.
What's the perfect Valentine's Day gift and your Raider sports update?
All that and more this week on
RJTV. Hey Owen, what are you giving up for Lent this year?
This year, I'm giving up sweet drinks like Gatorades and fountain drinks. What about you?
I'm trying to spend less time on social media, but I'm also trying to add something to my life, as Andre Zandanowitz talked about at the Boys' Mass Wednesday.
Yeah, Caroline Spalding talked about how God is always present in our lives, even in the ups and the downs. You got one of those challenge cards, didn't you?
I did, but Raiders, if you didn't get one, stop by the main office or pastoral office to get your own challenge card.
Now, we're back in the halls asking, what are you doing for Lent?
I am reading about St. Francis of Assisi. I'll go to Mass once a week. I'll go to reconciliation when our classes go to reconciliation. And I have a new journal for Lent.
What I'm giving up for Lent is album music.
I'm giving up gossiping.
I am giving up putting honey in my tea, which is a big sacrifice for me, and also spending some time in prayer every morning.
For Lent, I'm just giving up social media, try to be on my phone less.
Okay, we are giving up the gram for Lent and trying to read 7 Last Words by James Martin.
For Lent, I'm giving up soda and I am going to try and pray every day.
I'm giving up bad food choices and staying up too late.
A couple of the girls put me on Instagram, so now I'm going to put a quote every day during Lent on Instagram, and I'll continue to write my blog.
I'm giving up social media for Lent.
For Lent this year, I'm giving up watching YouTube.
For Lent, I'm going to go outside and touch grass every day.
For Lent, I'm going to read my son a book every night, and we're going to do mutual aid Mondays.
Thanks, Francis, for that in the halls.
Barrett, have you been listening to any podcasts recently?
I haven't, but I'm looking for new ones. Any suggestions?
Well, senior Rachel Krauss hosts her own podcast discussing mental health. Here's Manus Largan with the story.
As students, our voices are louder than we think. Using our platform to talk about critical issues in the world is so important. Senior Rachel Krauss knows this and has started her own podcast about mental health. I spoke to Rachel about the podcast and the importance of talking about mental health.
My name's Rachel, and I'm a senior here at Regis. And back in November, I started a podcast called Give Yourself a Reason. I just wanted to spread awareness about mental health and my story, and just to help others feel less alone. I have struggled with anxiety and depression, and I've always been really passionate about wanting to help others and just help people feel like they're not alone in their struggles. Within my podcasting, I'm able to spread my voice and spread what I've been through. So a lot of my friends that I've had on my podcast are people I've found through struggling with my mental health.
Rachel's first guest on her podcast was senior Erin House.
Well, when Rachel asked me to be her first guest, I was over the moon. I was also just super excited to hear that she was going to share her story. I think that Rachel asked me to be one of her first guests because I'm very vocal about my mental health and my mental health journey. And I also have an Instagram account called Erin's Affirmations, where I post inspirational advice or life advice or just share how I'm feeling to provide a community for everyone to feel vulnerable and to feel connected and to feel comfortable with their mental health.
You can listen on Spotify and YouTube. We're going to have a lot more guests and talk a lot about a lot more things and try to just reach as many people. So if you're ever interested, there's a bunch of different topics. And
This is Manus Largan for RJTV.
Thanks, Manus. Let's all be sure to take care of each other. Be sure to tune in to Rachel's podcast, Give Yourself a Reason, on Spotify.
Barrett, how are those sports broadcasts going? I see you all the time doing them.
They're going great. I mean, it's easy when our teams are dominating on the court.
Speaking of sports, here's Francis and Sophie with your Raider Sports Update.
What's up, Raiders? I'm Sophie Miles.
And I'm Frances Sullivan.
And this is your Raider Sports Update.
Starting off, we want to congratulate our girls swim and dive team on taking second place at state last weekend. Excellent job, ladies, and congratulations on an amazing season.
That's awesome. Weren't they only 3 points away from first?
Yes, they did incredible.
Special shout out to senior Charlotte Burnham, who won Swimmer of the Year, and Coach Nick Fraser-Smith for winning Coach of the Year.
Good luck to all our boys and girls wrestlers who are competing in the state championships yesterday, today, and tomorrow at Ball Arena.
Shout out to our cheer team who competed at Nationals in Orlando this past weekend. Great wrap to the season. We're proud of you.
Congratulations to our Special Olympics basketball team who played Overland on Tuesday, highlighted by this amazing deep three from Nico Espinoza to tie the game with only 10 seconds left.
Hockey continues to dominate their season and had their senior night last Friday.
They celebrated Reese Peterson, Luke Damrath, Dylan Paranjape, Jake Crowell, Edison Barnes, Alex Gregory, and Ian Beck.
They beat Fort Collins 4-0, and they have their final regular season game tomorrow against Resurrection Christian in Loveland before playoffs begin next week. Good luck, boys.
Girls basketball had their own senior night Tuesday, dominating Castleview 75-35, while honoring seniors Corinne Watts, Hannah Believe, and Lexi Hernandez.
They have their final game of the regular season at Legend at 7 tonight. Show up and show out, Raiders.
And finally, the boys basketball team beat Castleview 85-59, highlighted by sophomore Eric Fiedler dropping 27 points. Last night, they hosted their senior night against Legend, honoring Demarius Taylor and Gabe Hawkins.
Both the boys and girls teams will compete in the first round of playoffs Tuesday. They'll both be home games, so show up to support our teams.
That's all from us this week.
Back to you, Barrett and Owen.
Thanks, Francis and Sophie.
There's still time to register for the father-daughter dance. The dance is March 3rd from 5:30 to 9 at Coors Field.
What a cool venue. Now let's throw it over to Sophie and Peyton asking our Raiders about their ideal Valentine's Day gift.
Probably just really sweet notes.
Flowers.
Probably some Legos and some candy.
Chocolates and a cute stuffed animal.
A heart-shaped pizza and some chocolate.
One of those Lego flower sets.
Thanks, Sophie and Peyton.
I know people have strong feelings about Valentine's Day.
A lot of people have strong feelings about a lot of different things.
Like me with the Nuggets and Avalanche.
Elevate Magazine is looking for student opinion writing. Contact editors Mason Harris or Lenny Osuna to be featured in the magazine.
Well, that's all for this week, Raiders.
Enjoy your 3-day weekend.
See you next time.
Okay.